Talking about stirring up stuff on Twitter, hey Eggs, what's new in your life?
I unfortunately was charged back for $500 worth of gift subs, so I have to pay that back. No, they weren't anonymous.
Hello and welcome to Up Nerd. We have something a little special for you this week. It is an interview conducted by Abby and myself with the full-time Twitch streamer Eggs. Marvel Snap is a digital card game based on the Marvel property. It debuted October 2022. You acquire cards initially through time and progress. You can find Eggs on twitch.tv/eggs. Monday to Friday, streaming from roughly 9 a.m. through till 4 p.m. I highly encourage you to check out her streams. And without further ado, here's the interview.
Eggs.
Eggs. Just eggs. Which is the best opener, honestly, with most conversations, because people don't believe that that's my actual username. So that's fun.
Yeah, I can't believe it was free. When did you snag that?
So my username when I started streaming was Eggs for Sale. And then when I got partner, it's going to be 2 years ago now, I was just on a whim, maybe I should, ask them if Eggs is available. You can request names and then it'll say like, sorry, this is taken. And there's like a grace period of when an account gets deactivated to when you can grab a name. So I really, truly did not expect it to be available, but because it wasn't attached to a partner account, they're like, yeah, sure. Just deleted the person's account and gave me Eggs. And I was like,
that's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was a kind of amazing, actually, but I'm still dealing with a full flip of all of my profiles and stuff like that, because obviously Eggs is not easy to get on other platforms.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. So when did you start streaming on Twitch?
Gosh, I think it was 2015. God, how long ago was that?
What year is it? What year is it? 2024.
What year is it? So it's 9 years?
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
So my streaming anniversary is next month on the 20th, which is really funny because I was checking my calendar and I had it down. So it'll be 9 years to the day in a few days, actually, which is crazy. So I started streaming specifically because I was playing Splatoon. I don't know if you're familiar with that game at all.
Yeah.
I was playing Splatoon competitively.
Really?
Yeah. And they asked us to, stream our games so that they could restream on whatever their cast was that they were doing.
Okay.
So I was just like, all right, I'll buy a capture card and I'll just do it while I play Splatoon. And then it sort of became something where my friends would come and hang out and they'd watch me. And I was like, this is interesting. I'm kind of having fun with this. And I can't remember if I got affiliate fast. I really am not sure. But I remember it just being like, hey, $5 here, there. It's not like I'll cash out anytime soon. And for people who don't know it, you have to hit $100 threshold in order to get a cash out. So it was, at first it was very casual. I was just doing it randomly, nothing too serious. Then COVID happened, and then the streamer boom happened, and everybody decided that they wanted to stream. But because I saw so many people just growing these communities, making friends, and finding somewhere that they belong on the internet, it really was sort of an inspiration for myself to try again and put actual consistency into it, which is something that I missed for a while, not being consistent with a schedule or anything like that. So I started to stream nightly. I worked full time. I had a 1-year-old son, and anytime that I was streaming. So I grew a pretty small community, a lot of people who are still around now, which is really cool. Those are people that I've been friends with for 4 years now. I then went on to lose my job in 2022. And I sort of said to myself, you know what? I've been working nonstop since I left college. I'm going to give myself some time to just chill. And I was just I'll just go all in on streaming. I'll go full time and see what happens. And it was very casual as far as like I was consistent where it was daily. I wasn't playing like any specific game or anything like that. I played all of Elden Ring, like just a bunch of random things, honestly. Minecraft, things like that.
Anything moves, it's...
Oops. And then, goodness. Then Marvel Snap came out at the end of that was at the end of 2022. I'm not making this up. Yeah.
Yep. October 2022.
October. Yeah. So I actually was playing the beta prior to the global release. And I kind of was like, you know what? There's not a lot of streamers for this game. And I feel like people want to see someone play this game. And maybe this is like my shot. This is my opportunity to like get somewhere and get a real foothold in Twitch. Turns out I was right. And it just blew up. Like I pretty much overnight, which was crazy. I got rated by Mogwai, who is a big just like strategy game, card game streamer with like 1,000 viewers. And that was quite literally the springboard into where I am now. So I highly credit him towards like my success, because that was the moment where people were like, oh, maybe I'll come back here. And then they did. And then they stayed. And I got partner in December of 2022. And then I got a new job. Literally a week into my new job, I got partner.
Wow.
And I remember feeling very upset and frustrated, thinking, am I throwing away this opportunity that I have right now? Because I had to switch to streaming at night. And yeah, then I got laid off a few months later.
So you were doing work a day job, come home.
Yep.
Take care of a kid, single mother, stream all night.
Not single mother. Not
I'm sorry.
No.
I'm sorry.
I have my lovely husband helping me.
Got it.
Yeah, so it was literally 14-hour day, more or plus, and it was rough. I just remember like burning out pretty quickly and having a conversation with my boss at the time, like, I'm really struggling with this, like, just to be transparent, I'm, things are starting up for me with streaming, and I don't want to give up on this because it's something I actually love doing. And he was understanding, and we talked about like changing my schedule so I could stream during the day and work at night, which is something I was totally open to doing. My boss goes on vacation and I get an email that says I'm fired. It was with the tech layoff. So it was me and 300 other people. And I was like, well, this feels like a sign from the universe that I should just go all in. And yeah, that's the history. And here we are now. My concurrent viewership is not as good as it was when I first got partnership, because of the transformation that like Snap has gone through, and viewership has changed, interest waned, and I recently stopped playing it and stopped streaming it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's also quite interesting, because it's, as you say, that was my kind of thought too. Was like, oh my God, nobody's stream this game. Maybe I can get my foot in the door. I didn't have the discipline that you had to, do it consistently.
I know what you want, chat, and I know what you need. And I know that what you need is to follow me so that I can blow up. So that I can blow up and be invited to the next creator challenge, because I wanted to go, but I'm also just kind of a nobody, and I don't really work hard at it or anything. So I do this.
So you're growing as the game Marvel Snap is growing. What happens when you decide to leave that game?
Yeah, that is the hardest part.
Why did you decide to leave that game, I guess, too? If you want to talk about it,
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's really important to talk about this. I think that there are a lot of streamers out there that feel trapped, which is something that nobody is willing to, that is outside of streaming, is willing to really understand what it feels like to be stuck in this box of only creating content for the specific game, even if you hate the game.
Hours a day.
Yes, which is the hardest part. How can I keep it interesting if I don't want to play it anymore, right? So it was something that I was sort of toying with for a bit. I was doing variety in the evenings, the afternoons. I'd switch over at like 2:00 to something else. I played a ton of Elden Ring once the DLC came out. You know, was dabbling at other Souls games, which was fun. And just, I don't know, just sort of seeing where my numbers lied when I did variety. And it wasn't really encouraging, but I sort of hit a wall with Snap where I was just miserable. Just absolutely miserable.
I am leaving Snap indefinitely. I have been struggling to go live and play this game every single day. I have felt trapped because I rely on streaming, obviously, for my income. Not a lot of people survive a pivot to variety or anything at all. The focus of this game has pivoted from fun card collector to a game that promotes FOMO and is constantly asking you for more money. They continuously drop extremely overpowered cards at the cost of $70-ish. And then once that card is paid for and done, they nerf it into the ground. So if anybody wants to say that that's not pay to win, then I don't know. I have put my entire heart and soul into this game since October 2022 and am not blind to the fact that I am here in this position that I currently am in because of Snap, and I am thankful for that, but the game is not the same that it was anymore. It was chill, and now it's so money driven that if you don't have the cash to get the newest card, to get into the newest meta, you're and you're not going to have fun and you're going to be miserable. What's the point? Why continue to do this to myself besides for the fact that I'm scared to make this move? If you just look at the shop right now, there's a $75 bundle and then a $50 bundle and then a $25 bundle, and then you finally get to the shop. And if that doesn't explain it to you enough, then it's just like buy the dip. You just are in denial. How don't come in here saying nice things.
I recorded a podcast with, there's podcasts called Bread and Butter. They're Hearthstone podcasts because I had recently picked up Hearthstone again. And I had a conversation with them about the state of Snap and how things were with Hearthstone, you know, like bridging into that game. And having that conversation was sort of like that eye-opener that, oh, I'm miserable. I really just need to let go of this. The month before I hadn't gotten infinite, so I was frustrated.
They said it couldn't be done, but I did it, and now I'm infinite, and now I can quit the game.
And then the season was coming to an end, and it was really clear that I wasn't going to get infinite again. I was losing every single game, and it was just because I stopped spending money on the game, and I didn't have the cards that were, you know, the meta. Like, rewind to the 2023, full disclosure, I spent almost $10,000 on this game. Simply because that is what people wanted to see. They want to see the opening of cards. They wanted to see the good variants. They wanted to see you splitting variants. They wanted to see you playing the best deck. And if I couldn't do that, if I couldn't spend the money to compete against the other big streamers, then I was setting myself up for failure. And thankfully, taxes and all of that sort of helped out. But I definitely didn't put myself in a good place going into this year. But yeah, so I decided January, I'm done spending money on this game. I cannot rightfully put money into this game anymore, knowing that we're sort of living paycheck to paycheck because this economy is awful.
I do want to rewind a bit too, just to explain to the uninitiated. Marvel Snap is a digital card game. You acquire cards initially through time and progress That changed a little bit into it.
Mhm.
And as Egg said, everybody wants to have or wants to see the brightest, shiniest new stuff. They want to see the new cards, everything else. And within, I would say, probably the past year or so, there was more of a focus on the monetization combined with the progression changed and cards were released more frequently. Frankly, like one of the reasons we ended up leaving, for me at least, it stopped respecting my time. The amount of time I would have to put in was just astronomical. I couldn't, play other games, or it would cut into other activities.
Mm-hmm.
And so I left. The game very much wants you to hit infinite every month, and that is a rank of 100. It's what you get from winning matches, et cetera, et cetera. It just became so time consuming to try to do that just to keep up.
You know who also hit infinite almost every month since it officially launched, and then as soon as I stopped spending money, did not hit infinite?
Yeah. I believe it.
Sebastian Shaw. I decided not to buy the season pass.
Oh my god.
And I hit infinite a number of times with that specific Silver Surfer deck. 3 costs. And then as soon as you stop spending money, and there's just a new card every week. So it's so...
Isn't that interesting?
It became
I would really
more and
be
more
curious about
insidious.
the correlation there. There's got to be some reasoning, right?
Our scientists as yet have no answers, but
Yeah.
research is ongoing. No, and then we started noticing, I can't remember if it was Nina or Felicity, both excellent streamers and Snap players, but I think it was Nina who said, like, I can't spend any more money on this. And like, you guys are whales, right? So you guys are spending inordinate amounts of money on the game because that's your business. When the whales stop spending money on it, it's not a good sign.
Yeah.
So
yeah, for sure.
yeah, I'm impressed you lasted as long as you did, actually.
A lot of people say that to me. I think it's really funny. I think that I really, really wanted it to work out.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I felt like, I think a lot of it was I'm stubborn.
Mm.
But besides that, I felt like I had something to prove because of the things that people will say about me. Like, as much as you try and let stuff roll off your back, which is something I deal with on a daily basis, stuff people say, and the fact that I purposely stir the pot quite a bit on Twitter. But like, the things people were saying were more about like, oh, Eggs is only being invited to this because she's a girl.
Yeah.
Yep.
Eggs is only included this because she's a woman. Why do they keep including Eggs because she sucks at the game? Include somebody else who's good at the game, like X male, X male, X male.
Always guys, yeah.
Didn't you
Yeah.
take second in that tournament that Cowatek?
Fourths.
Fourth. Okay. It's second in my
Fourth.
heart.
Thank you.
No,
Fourth?
like you did. You did really well. And like I am a girl and I was a very good player. Nina's a girl. She's a very good player. Felicity's a girl. She's a
Yeah.
very good player.
Which kind of goes back to the streaming in general, too. I mean, you kind of have the added difficulty of you're a woman. And
You stream it on
there
hard
is-
mode.
We talk about it a fair amount on this show that unfortunately there's a movement, I like to call them complete idiots, who very much want to push women out of gaming, which is stupid for a variety of reasons.
And then they
But-
complain that they can't get a gaming girl.
Yeah,
waifu.
can't get a date.
Right. They're like,
well.
why can't I find a girl that games?
Yeah.
Could
Yeah.
it be because you're a jerk?
Yeah.
But yeah, there's something to prove. There's the element of probably feeling like if I leave Snap or I stop streaming Snap, will anybody watch me?
Mm-hmm.
It's a thing that happens to everybody. You see it frequently with, even musicians at a high level who, if I make the slightest change, are the fans going to follow me or that kind of thing?
Right.
But yeah, it's got to be tough when it's your job. And I think that's what most people don't understand too, is when you make something a job, even if it's a video game or something that is, quote, fun, unquote, it becomes a job.
Right.
It becomes
Yeah.
work.
It sort of loses that excitement pretty fast. And I think that you guys sort of had it on the nose when the game really changed, as far as like when it started to feel really greedy, really microtransaction-y. Like there was $100 bundle every week or more per week. And it was sort of like, why?
$140 Canadian.
Yeah, that's
and the
knocked
exchange
on the
and
exchange rate.
It's
It's about 70 cents to the dollar.
God, that's
thanks
crazy.
exchange rates.
What does your daily life as a streamer look like for all those little girls who are looking up to you? The stamina that requires is insane.
Yeah, I think that. God, my life is so much more different than most of these other streamers. There's a rare like parent that is a big streamer. Luxie is one of those people who, she has incredible numbers. She does incredible content. She pulls 2 a day, so she doesn't burn out, which is really interesting to me. And she's a mother, and her son is younger than me. Or younger than me. Younger than my son.
Both.
Obviously younger than me.
All of the above.
So my days right now are wake up, make lunch for my son, get him to school on time, come home, and I used to start at 9. That has since been pushed back with, school time and all that jazz. And then I get a lot of like waiting gifts, like, where is she? Like, that's like their favorite thing, that I'm constantly late. I don't even get dressed on time, let alone ready. I'm doing my makeup on stream almost every single day now because I don't have time. I can't. I sat down on my desk and I'm sat for the day.
Do you find that sort of pressure of like everybody's waiting on me like exhilarating or? Okay,
it's frustrating.
Yeah.
There's nothing I'd love more than to, like have my cup of coffee, not like take that second to check my email, like get back to you guys, things like that. Those moments don't exist that much for me anymore. And it's a lot of, I need to be live right now because there's other people that are going live at the same time. Yeah. I need to get those viewers before they go somewhere else and get hooked in and then leave their computer up with not me on the screen, There's tactics to everything, especially with Snap, knowing when, is going live. Because during the day, it was me and Harry, and then sitting at the top, and then a bunch of non-English speaking streamers that would pull large numbers. But I was always acutely aware of where I was sitting in that area. But yeah, so that's like 9:30 a.m. I don't stand up enough. I don't get up from my computer enough. Like, I really need to work on doing that. But yeah, it's streaming now until 4 p.m. And then I get off, pick my son up from school, come home, do homework, cook dinner, bath, maybe have some time to sit down, which is really not happening right now. My son is very into Minecraft and Fortnite right now, which I'm loving. Which is
and showing you Minecraft and Fortnite, or
oh yeah,
or is he? Or do you mean he's just sort of able to entertain himself for a little bit? So mommy can have a friggin' minute.
No, he wants to play with us.
Got it. Yeah,
play with me, play Fortnite with me, and I'm like, I wish that I could, but I have so much to do.
Yeah, I have to play Fortnite with these other people on the on the internet.
Right.
Yeah,
I have to play these video games later. You don't seem to understand that.
Yeah.
And then bedtime, and then I finally sit down on my computer like 8 o'clock, 8:30. So 12 hours later, essentially, and finally get to unwind. And that's sort of like, I fought with myself for the longest time. I decide if I want to sit here and make YouTube content, make TikTok content, create, clips and stuff that I want to post, or I want to give myself time to like be a human.
Yeah.
And I think that that's something that a lot of people that are full-time streamers struggle with, because it's like, where's the line? Like, where do you get time for yourself? Especially if there are parents. So I sort of have erred on the side of only streaming. And as much as I would love to put out, YouTube content, I don't have the time and I don't have the money to pay somebody else to do it. So yeah, I mean, that's my day. And then I go to bed and wake up and do it all over again.
Yeah. And what you described is a job, and when I was much younger, I would look at the burgeoning YouTube and things like that and go, oh, why don't these people get a real job? I didn't understand that it is a real job.
Yeah.
That even when you're away from the computer too, you have to manage things like sort of a social network or the different social networks to sort of keep up, to keep people engaged.
Mhm.
And then aside from that, it's sort of the minimum 8 hours of sitting and streaming or standing and streaming or, whatever it is you're doing for content
Right.
creation. But I mean, largely your day is similar or exactly the same as either of ours.
Mhm.
Because full disclosure, we both work from home. There are days when I am eating cereal when I log in to check my email at the start of the day,
Yeah.
as I am supposed to do.
I don't get dressed till like 1 p.m.
You get dressed at all? I've been working remotely.
Well,
28.
PG stream.
I've been working remotely since 2018.
Mhm.
So that I was like, roll out of bed, pour my cup of coffee, sit down at my desk at the moment that I'm supposed to be online. Like I just literally woke up.
Yeah.
This was pre-child, obviously,
Yeah.
but I feel that. Yeah.
Yeah, roll over, get the laptop from underneath the bed,
Mhm.
Yeah.
bring it onto the bed.
She occasionally has Zoom meetings where she has to be on camera. So on those days, she is wearing some clothing at least.
Right.
But for the most part,
Free and easy, Lise. Free and easy.
it's a job. And the unfortunate part is
It's not even a job because you're doing all this, you've been like awake and on for like 12 hours, 13 hours already.
Oh,
and
yeah.
you're doing this in the hopes that somebody will spend $6.99 Canadian. What is it, like $4.99 on one sub, of which you see $2.50, $3?
At the 70%, it's about 3-ish, 3 and change, I think.
Phenomenal.
I don't know. Something
Great.
like that.
Great.
Yeah. Thanks
Yeah.
for minimizing it like that.
No. It's more just that the amount of work that goes into it and the diligence that you have to have
Mhm.
Mhm.
is extraordinary. And people don't understand that
Yeah.
the money does not magically flow from Amazon's coffers.
Yeah,
Right.
it's the exact opposite. So
In fact, it
we're
is.
not minimizing it at all. That's the issue.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah, you're right. I was minimizing a little bit.
No, I'm just joking, please.
It's fine. It's fine.
minimizing the money, because that's sort of the other half of it, is because
Right.
in a lot of ways you are honestly essentially a contractor for Twitch, and as such, as we have learned recently, not a lot of protections for anything, be it income or from harassment or the wide variety of things, which some of that is obviously a much bigger issue for the women in this space. But
Mhm.
Yeah. So talking about stirring up stuff on Twitter, hey Eggs, what's new in your life?
Well, that's a really good question.
Mhm.
So, what is today's date? September 30th. And
Yeah, this was like yesterday too, wasn't
yesterday, yeah. So I
Yeah.
went onto my computer and I was just like, I like to look at my stats, but not too much because I don't like to think about it, because then I'll start to get anxiety and be like, oh, I'm not doing enough. I need to be doing more. But I logged in and I looked at my account and looked at my earnings because, it's the end of the month. I wanted to see what everything shook out at. And I saw negative 580 some odd dollars in gifted subs. And I was like, huh? Why?
I unfortunately was charged back for $500 worth of gift subs. So that's almost half of what my monthly payout is. So I have to pay that back. Did someone cause this? I think it was the person that came in when we were playing Tavern Sim, like the day after I announced that I was quitting. Snap. That came in and dropped like hundreds of subs. I think it was them. No, they weren't anonymous.
I really could not understand how does this happen? Like, I've dealt with chargebacks before via PayPal because somebody had a stolen credit card and, gifted me $300, then $35 every day, multiple times a day for an entire week with stolen credit cards and using their real names too, which is terrifying because it seemed like a real person. And then have it all charged back and have to come out of my pocket plus the $20 on top of every chargeback that took place.
Yes. Yeah. So each one of those 35 multiple times a day for multiple days is $20 out of your pocket.
Oh yeah.
And PayPal just gives you a big finger.
Yep.
And I
tried to go through PayPal and they were like, no, this is your problem.
Yeah.
So needless to say, I want to say it was the beginning of September when I first announced that I was taking a break from Snap. Somebody came into my stream that was known in the Snap community as like a gifting whale that would come in and drop gifted subs. And they did just that and were like supportive of what I was doing and like wishing me the best and stuff. So they seemed genuine, and everybody was like saying, oh, this guy's the best. He showers XYZ in gifted subs too. And yeah, he gave me hundreds of dollars worth of subs. That I got
$80 worth apparently.
Well, so with like the cut and stuff, I think whatever it actually comes out to that Twitch made off of these subs that he was getting. Yeah, now he did a chargeback of almost $15,000 worth of gifted subs and was granted that chargeback and thusly leaving a good majority of the Snap streamers with a large chunk of money taken out of their income for the month of September.
Yeah, because it wasn't just you, and I don't think you were the hardest hit, but you were up there.
Yeah.
Like I think somebody got dinged for $1,100 or something like that, and then 500, and then
Yeah. So I'm the fourth person down as far as like who got affected that we're aware
finishing
of. Like,
fourth.
What the heck?
If it's not a Snap tournament, it's
because it was eggs for sale.
It's eggs for sale. That's a good point.
So eggs one sale.
Eggs one sale would have been first. So
I don't want that in this situation.
Yeah, I know.
No. Anyway.
Sorry, the person that's at the top is actually a very small streamer who doesn't get numbers like me, isn't consistent streamer like I am. This is not their job. So they're on the hook for $1,500 to pay Twitch back that they'll likely not be able to pay back for at least a few months, and therefore are working for what?
For free, essentially.
Exactly.
Yep.
It's wild.
And it's ridiculous because we can say this, it's up to you if you want to agree or not, but Twitch is not taking a hit on this. Like they're a large multi-bajillion dollar company, to put it mildly. Twitch, by the way, owned by Amazon, who they make $600 in less time than it takes me to say 6.
Absolutely. Because the good majority of streamers are only getting the 50-50 cut, which goes over everybody's head. They don't realize how much money that actually shakes out to be for Twitch.
That's what I mean. Even setting aside Amazon itself, which brings in something like, I can't remember how many trillion it is a second, but
trillion a second.
It's a little bit less than that.
Sorry, it's in the millions.
This Amazon thing is a pretty big company.
Yeah, Amazon's not hurting, is my point, and nor is Twitch, though. And so it's ridiculous to put the onus for something like this on these individual streamers, and just, some of these are average people. Like we brought up Alex, he's high on the list. He is a teacher with 4 children.
5 now?
Oh, good Lord.
I think you're right.
5?
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think we've always been like 4 and a baby.
Yeah.
4 and he just had a baby. But yeah. So I think the problem is it's the reputational harm. So I, like everybody else on the planet, got inundated with pirate software shorts a couple months ago when he was on his historic rise. And that's where I learned that PayPal does these chargebacks. That's why he doesn't use PayPal, so that people can't, target streamers with these chargebacks that they also have to pay. I think it's like 20 or $35 each every time it's done. So he only works with Twitch bits and gifted subs because there was that layer of protection. Nay. So I was so surprised to hear this, because now what? So if I guess what I'm saying is I plan to never buy a sub or bits on Twitch again, because what's the point? It's not only taking money away. As a viewer and somebody who wants to support a streamer, I understand that, but at least there's that little bit of security for both parties, right? Where I can be assured that that streamer is going to get it, and that streamer can be assured that they're going to get it too.
Right.
If that goes away, then what are we left with? We'll just go to Patreon or Ko-fi or, direct. I almost asked you your e-transfer what? Yeah, I almost asked you like, oh my god,
account number.
Well, no, it's because we started that Upnerd Twitch thing, and like it did not like a new credit card, so it was dinging.
My gosh,
stuff. So I was like, oh, just give me your e-transfer. I was like, I can't ask her that. That's a pod scam. That is 100% scam.
Yeah, I mean, with the amount of times I've been scammed this month, it's hard for me to trust literally anyone at this point, and it's crazy. Sad. It's sad to see that the protection that I thought that I had through, gifted subs in general, just is non-existent. And it's very frustrating, after this year dealing with $500+ worth of chargebacks through PayPal.
Yeah.
And trying to encourage people to gift subs or I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing anymore.
No, I know, but that's the thing, right? Is that you work so hard to develop a rapport, and everybody thinks they understand the rules of the game, from the viewer to the streamer to Amazon, and then all of a sudden there's something going on here. The referee knows something that you don't.
I'd argue too that a lot of these companies, Amazon and Twitch, very guilty of this. Obviously, we see it a lot with Uber and Uber Eats as well. They want to give you the feeling that they named you partner, that you have some type of agency or something like that. And yeah, it's frustrating to remember that, no, they very much are the ones pulling the strings.
Yeah, unless you're pulling in the 100,000 viewers, 50,000 viewers, they don't give a shit.
Well, that's why we tagged Pirate Software on Twitter, because we were like, okay, he will probably be able to talk to Twitch. But it's extraordinary that you could talk to Twitch to get your name changed, but you can't talk to them about this. And it would be nothing for them to be like, you know what, Eggs, you're right. This is wrong. It's just going to be a line on a balance sheet somewhere.
Yep. And I've been trying to work my connections, and they are, it's gone all the way through to trust and safety department. And I don't think we're getting that money. I don't think that we're getting this money. Yeah.
Escalate until it gets to Mr. Bezos himself.
Dan. Well, Jeff's not at Amazon anymore. Dan Clancy is literally the only chance that we have him seeing this is the only chance that we have of getting the money back at this point, because everybody else is going to play it by the book, especially with all eyes being on Twitch on the shareholder side of Amazon, because Twitch is and has been reported as a net loss for Amazon.
That's interesting. You're right. They are a publicly company. I'm getting ideas. Okay.
So they're largely, trying to save their ass. And when there's $6,000 on the line, no matter how small it is, if it gets the traction that it is on Twitter, they're going to do what's safe for them and what, but if there's legal things going on, then who knows what happens. Where we go from here, I'm really not sure. We definitely have a case that exists, but I don't know.
Well, and the question is, how many other people is this happening to? But they just stop streaming. So how widespread is this issue? If I'm an investor for, big capital group, I want these questions asked, and I want to know that there's some kind of protection, and I would shudder shudder to believe that the largest internet provider in the history of the universe can't prevent fraud.
Yes, dear. If there's
Right.
one thing investors care about, it's things getting charged to the little people.
No,
The
they do
little
care about
people.
fraud, though. They do care a little bit about fraud. Just a little bit.
Only if it cuts into them, though.
Well, yeah,
That's
but that's the thing, right?
Right.
Is that like eventually it comes out, so
yeah,
you want to
but
dump
that's-
everything.
That unfortunately is our point,
Yeah.
is that they've created a system where it may not.
Yes.
Woohoo,
And it's
positive
kind of,
I feel like bring out your inner old lady and just
and it's not
I want to speak to your manager.
right. I pull a Karen, right?
Yeah.
But it's not even clear that the chargebacks are happening. They don't
Yeah.
let you know.
Yeah.
It just so happened that I saw the negative that day and noticed it, because looking at my earnings for this week alone, I, just in passing, I could be like, okay, that makes sense, and not really
Yep.
think about it and move on. And I can't imagine how many people that happens to, especially the people making, 5 digits plus a month, But it's obvious now, looking at my gifted subs, that you can clearly see I had X amount of subs gifted to me over the past 2 days. That revenue should be twice that.
Yeah.
And it is not because of this. But there's nowhere, it doesn't say minus X amount of money. It just says this is how much it is.
I just think it's incredible that they don't hold it until a point where, like, oh, this money's cleared, or it's too late. It's the bank's problem now. Because as you say, they do that when you first hit affiliate. You have to make $100 before they'll cash anything out. So Twitch.
Yep. That's the major question. Like, why did they clear the money?
Yep.
But this person was going around bragging that this is something that they do often. That they use their credit cards for things and then they claim fraud. So obviously this person is a criminal, needless to say.
If only you knew somebody in the burgeoning field of cyber intelligence who could pick up a phone and call the bank. If only.
Well, it's just like I can't make sense of why there was nothing flagged on Twitch's side when this person went back and charged back $15,000 worth of subs.
No, they're very good questions. And on Saturday, I didn't have any of these questions. Twitch was a safe place I could spend some money and support some people. And Twitch also got some of that money. And now it's not for you. It's not for me as a viewer. Yeah, crazy. Crazy.
Hello, present day uneven flow here again. In regards to the Twitch situation, we held off releasing the podcast for a week in the hopes that there would be a more positive resolution to everything. However, the final resolution from Twitch was that the user in question was banned from Twitch, and going forward, they would attempt to let creators know in a more rapid fashion if there's some form of chargeback. Unfortunately, this doesn't prevent the same situation from happening again. So ultimately, not really a particularly positive resolution.
The brighter side of this, I will say too, in general, has been seeing Marvel Snap, whatever we think of what the game has become, the community is generally fantastic.
Sure.
And
yeah, absolutely.
filled with great content creators and just a lot of really kind people. And a lot of them have moved on. And I still try to keep up with them and that kind of thing. I still try to watch even the ones who have stayed. But I mean, the bright side is at least there's been a decent sort of outpouring of people trying to get attention pointed at this issue and hopefully rectifying it.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of positive here, at least, too. It's just a reminder that at least most people are decent, but...
Right. Absolutely. And I think that we're very lucky with the group of people that we have in the Snap creator community, that we all are sort of mostly tight-knit people who've had, relationships offline. like, these are people that I will and have defended their name in any situation, because those are people I care about. I watch them succeed. I watch them get to where they are. They deserve it. And they, like, I'm going to protect them because I care about those people. I don't know many places within like Twitch that of people who are going to do that, honestly. And I mean, I'm really fortunate that I've found this additional family outside of Snap of people that so I'm part of a stream team called Neat Dude, just a group of really incredible content creators that have incredibly kind and generous and just welcoming communities that we share audiences. And those people will go from one person to the next person within this community because they know that their friends will also be there. And those are the people that have really kept me going past Snap. And there are so many good people that exist in this world that it's sad that the messed up people that are trying to take money from us are the ones that get focused on. And then it's the little guys that get screwed out of everything. So
Yeah, so if people want to find you and donate to you or watch you, and
your e-transfer address is
no account info. Yeah, social truth number is.
I did make a Ko-fi this week just to see where that goes. To see
maybe
if there's
Patreon. I mean, I guess PayPal's still an issue there, though. Like,
right. PayPal owns so much, and it's surprising. Honestly, you don't realize it. I did sign up for a Cash App too. I didn't know, like, I've always been like, I don't know, like,
those are such US things, though. They're like, it's so like, oh, they use that in the States. Like, it's too exotic for us, and it's like scary and unknown. So
that's so true, because my friend lives in Canada, and she came to TwitchCon with me, and we were trying to, like, pay each other back for everything. And I was like, do you have Venmo? No. Do you have Zelle? No. And we were like trying to find a way to like be able to send each other money that wasn't through PayPal.
Here we just have e-transfers, by the way. It's so simple up here. But anyway. Yeah, so I think we mentioned it before, but if people want to find you, it's twitch.tv/eggs.
Yep.
Exactly how it sounds.
Yep.
EGGS, yes. No cool Zs or anything.
Not just eggs.
No Zs. Not just eggs. No. You take me out of the refrigerator, and that's me. And I'm there Monday through Friday, 9:30-ish Eastern until 4 p.m. Eastern.
God almighty.
And it's fun. Yeah. We have fun here.
You do. Yeah, and you have a really good community, and we're happy to be a part of it now.
I'm glad to have you guys be part of it too. It's so nice to have new people come in, and because my community is just so excellent at welcoming people in hopes that they'll stay and, get in on the inside jokes and stuff like that. Like, we love that. They literally fiend for new people to come in so they can make more friends. It's so funny. But yeah, and on Twitter, I'm at @eggs. Because eggs is taken by the egg farmers of Canada. Interesting.
I saw that. I
put in a bad word for you.
No, it's that's so weird.
I've reached out because they don't even use the handle @eggs.
But good luck with that. You think Twitch is
well? How are they supposed to type anyway? You just throw eggs at a keyboard. It's not going to work. So
that's how we do it up here.
Yeah.
That's how we found you. We're like, we need more eggs for the keyboard.
We need more. Yep, that's what it was. And
I'm surprised Alex hasn't told you about that.
What? There's keyboard and egg stories?
No.
Are you being sarcastic?
No, it's Canada's in the boonies.
She's gone crazy again.
A little bit.
We're wearing tinfoil hats. That's what's happening today.
Oh man, I can go.
And then
I can go further if it would help. Yeah.
Every other platform is the same. Hi, it's eggs, because that is the simplest thing that I could come up with that was actually available. So
it's brand consistency.
Exactly.
And it's marketing 101, baby. Yeah. Boy, we were just going to have you on to talk about Snap, because we talk about Snap on a bunch of our podcasts
Well,
because
just
it's
in-
still the best
yeah.
game I've ever played.
Yeah.
I haven't played it for a year, so at least a year ago, it was the best game I'd ever played. And then, yeah.
And then Rivals came along.
And then Rivals
we
came
were
along.
in the betas for that, which, oh boy,
Yeah.
that was a trip. That was
Maybe I'll be the Rivals streamer.
yeah.
Oh,
Maybe
yeah.
I'll do it this
I mean,
time.
I mean, that is going to blow up when it finally releases. I didn't give it the time of day yet because I haven't really been interested in a shooter since Overwatch gave me a lot of emotional distress because of the things people say to women. But yeah, I don't know. Are you guys going to check out the Pokemon game?
We are
Yes.
now because we've been watching you play it live at twitch.tv/eggs.
Yep.
No,
That
it-
comes out at the end of October. So
Yep.
you've got a new card game coming.
Yep.
Mhm.
Thank you for joining us. Hopefully, we can have you back and talk more about video games at some point.
Yeah, I'd love to. Thanks for having me. It was fun.
No, we really appreciate it, and we hope your Tuesday is a little bit brighter than your Sunday. But seems like you had a good couple of days there. At least the community really came through, and you deserve it. You
Thank you.
Yep.
ought to be. There ought to be a law. There ought to be. Now you have to stop me because I'll just keep going forever. So.